Hello and welcome back to episode 78 of Unknown to World Known. We're back with Roma, and since you were last with us, we've been on a decent run of form with only really struggling in a couple of games where we've just not been able to score enough. That's been our biggest problem, is just not getting the goals in the last three games. Before then, we were quite comfortable, and it's been a good run of form that's seen us maintain our place in the top four. Let's run through what's happened since you were last with us. So we had the first game was a 3-1 win against Cagliari, who we put aside 3-1 quite comfortably. Before again beating Chievo quite comfortably 3-0. We had a draw 1-1 with Napoli, which was mostly frustrating because it was a very late equaliser from Napoli, and I feel like we really should have had the win there. Then we had a 1-0 win against Fiorentina. Again, a little bit frustrating because it was only a penalty that got us through that one, when really it should have been game over long before that. And then this game against Vicenza, again, it should have been over way before that it ended 0-0. And we're back now to play Sampdoria and Monza, and I've put that in the middle of an international break. That's well timed. Well done, Andrew. League wise, it sees us sat in third place at the moment, 55 points. We're 13 points behind Juventus, who are runaway leaders. However, we are only 2 points ahead of Inter Milan, so we've got a lot of work to do to make sure we stay inside this top four. But hopefully, we can do enough. If you are enjoying the series and enjoying the channel, do subscribe. If you want to stay around and hit the bell as well, if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos. Daily releases at 5 o'clock, of course, and then a bonus video on a Saturday, 11 o'clock. So lots of content coming your way, so do subscribe if you are enjoying it. Let's go and see how we're going to try and keep our form going against Sampdoria. And we're going to try and start off today with a win by going with a lineup of Vereenha in goal, Giglione, Fran, Ibanez and Angelino. Cersei and Prospect are the holding midfielders, with Miani through the middle, Maina on the right, Victoriano on the left, and Wilson up front. So hopefully Miani coming back into the team. He's been in and around the team for the last few weeks with some decent performances off the bench. Hopefully he can come in and do a good job. In the first team today, Angelino's going to take a long throw to start us off. It's very poor and nobody bothers to challenge for it. And Sampdoria have a chance to break. Angelino does well to break that up, but the ball does go back to them and they're coming back again. And it's a ball through for Hasic on the right hand side. And we so easily get caught out on the counter attacks. And it always seems to be down this right hand side. Angelino is very good when it comes to attacking, but defensively, he really is missing something. Victoriano getting us straight back into it from Miani's corner, and we're back to 1-1 straight away. And fantastic response from the team there. And now hopefully we can continue off that back and put some pressure on Sampdoria. Miani with another free kick here. It's headed back to him, and the ball's gone towards the far post. Fran with a good header, but it's held by Semper. We're going to drop back down to positive, given that we've got the equaliser very quickly. Giglione heads away, but it ends up with Mensah, who tries to clear it. Prospect with the interception, and Cersei looking for Victoriano, doesn't quite manage to find him, and in the end it's cleared by the goalkeeper under a bit of pressure, and it's gone all the way back to Vereenha now. We are on key highlights. Ibanez plays it to Fran, and the long ball forward is looking for Wilson, who brings it down brilliantly and finishes it brilliantly. What a goal from Fernando Wilson, his 23rd of the season. I said last year what we were really missing was a striker who can score a lot of goals. And this year, I think by January, he'd outscored all that main front four last year. If you can even say we had a front four, it was such a mix-up of players. And Varane making a good save at the near post there. But yeah, last year we had so many changes to that front group that there was never really established front four because we didn't have anyone good enough to lead the line was the biggest problem. Bellin over there has gone in with a bit of a dodgy tackle on Victoriano. He was never going to get the ball, and I think we might be getting a penalty here. Or was it just outside the area? It is a penalty. And it's going to be Wilson stepping up to take this. He's had a good penalty record this year. Hopefully he can continue it to make it 3-1. And he does. 3-1 now against Sampdoria. And this is a part of the season where every game is becoming very important. Obviously with Inter Milan on our backs. I think they are playing now, so they're currently 0-0 against Fiorentina, but AC Milan play later in the day. However, a win here, Atalanta against Lazio. Lazio could nick points there. Lazio have been very good over the last few years. They seem to have dropped off a little bit this year, but I won't by any means say it's going to be an easy win for Atalanta. Victoriano does well to block the ball there and clear it, but it's only cleared as far as the defender. And eventually they give it away to Cersei, and him and Miani manage to work it forward, and now Main are running down the right hand side. Does get tackled, but it gets the crossing anyway, and Wilson hits the bar. Ball falls to Cersei. Pospech plays it back in, and it's headed away by Mensah. Giglio now with the long throw into the box. Victoriano's in there, somehow headers it back over his shoulder to Wilson, who gets his hat trick and makes it 4-1 at the very start of the second half. And we might even go attacking and try and see if we can get a few more. At 4-1, you might as well have a bit of fun with it. And look at that goal difference to Juventus. I know Italy uses results between teams first, but still, even if we can pull off a draw either way against Juventus and it goes to goal difference, they're going to be absolutely thrashing us, which is quite a big concern really when they're the ones that you've got to try and take down. We're going to bring Hannibal on for Pospech. Sampdoria did get one back, so we just want to make sure they don't get any more back. We'll send Arif on the left-hand side. He's come off the bench a few times and got a few late goals for us, including one that was cruelly ruled out for offside. Maina now on the right-hand side. He's got Giglio with him. Sends it through for Arif, who heads it on towards Wilson, who hits the bar from the edge of the 18-yard box. It might have been just over the bar, but either way, very close there. I think we'll just bring Fran off for Varnier for this last 10 minutes. Just make sure that yellow card doesn't go any further. If we're going to lose anyone, Miani is the one we'd rather lose than Fran. And we do see the game out for a 4-2 win. I did see at the end, Cersei picked up a knock, but that won't matter too much because we are going into an international break. I can't imagine it keeps him out any longer than the international break. And that sees us, Fiorentina, actually getting a late equaliser against Inter Milan, which means we do take our lead to 4 points over them. If AC Milan and Atalanta can drop points later in the day, that would be fantastic for us. But we'll be back with the game against Monza. Okay, so the lineup we're going for this time, We've bought Maitland-Niles in for Giglione, who is out with an injury, and also Retsos is coming in for Angelino, just to try and shore up that left back position that I know does cause us problems with conceding goals. This is a game against Monza, who are quite far down in the league. If memory serves me correctly, we'll have a quick look here. So that's our lineup for today, just for you to refresh. Breen had nearly missed the game because of an injury he picked up on international duty. There's Monza's lineup. Only a couple of real players still in that team. And league-wise, they are actually bottom of the league. And Atalanta dropped points yesterday. It looks like Milan may have as well. No, Milan wouldn't have. So we've got a chance here to try and get a important win when Atalanta have dropped points, which of course would be big for us if we can do that. However, once again, we've ended up finding ourselves 1-0 down early on against a team that we just are better than. And this is getting really frustrating. Just because we're better than this. I don't even want to watch it. 2 minutes. This is the problem we have, because now they sit back with 10 men behind the ball. Maina has gone down in the box. The referee stopped play. Believe there's a push. Ibanez wants absolutely none of it, Ibanez. We have got a penalty, and Fernando Wilson is going to be the man to step up for it. This would put us back on level terms less than 5 minutes into the game, and it does. And hopefully we can not concede another very silly goal and actually take control of this game, which would be a nice change. We don't need to see a penalty. So, yeah, as it stands, we are back on level terms. Maitland-Niles finds Miani. He finds Prospect, who strikes from range and forces a good save out of the keeper. We are currently sat in third. Miani with the corner. If we win, we would go on to 61 points, which would put us just above AC Milan. Inter Milan are playing against Vicenza later in the day, but they can't catch us today at all. And hopefully we can get the win to just drive a wedge between us and them a bit further. The more we can distance ourselves from that 5th place, the better for us, of course. And if we can finish second, it would be even better, considering the season that they had, that Roma had last year before we arrived. Well, we arrived partway through. We've nearly gone 2-1 down here, and we need to fire them up, because mistakes like that can be very costly in these types of games. And we are very good at making those kinds of mistakes. We've now got the corner. Miani whips this one in, and Victoriano nearly heads it in the top corner. But we're going to be coming out for the second. No, we've got another corner for them now, and they somehow haven't equalised from it. We are going to be telling them we're far from pleased with that. Disappointed with the defensive efforts. And let's have a look what's going on. There's got to be something that we can figure out for what's going wrong. Where do you find like the analysis screen like you used to? You used to have analysis from your assistant for what was going on, but it doesn't seem very easy to find now. We're gonna up the tempo a bit and just see if we can just play around them. Miani's gonna whip the ball in. Corbo heads away, but Miani picks it back up, finds Prospect, and he's going backwards a little bit to Ibanez, but the ball through finds Maina, who forces another save out of the goalkeeper. And as it stands, I mean, Monza aren't even really getting dominated in this game. We're going to bring Miani off for Rodrigo now, and we're going to demand more as well. We've got half an hour now to try and get a goal, but we've just given the ball away very cheaply through Maitland-Niles, and it ends up with Masson, who gives the ball away even cheaper than we did, but then the ball forward is very poor, and they've ended up going back to their goalkeeper. Something has got to be coming from this for it to be a key highlight, and don't. Thankfully, Varinha makes the save. There is some justice in the world, because that would have been ridiculous if they'd scored off that. We're going to bring Maitland-Niles off. I don't trust him on that yellow card at all. Retsos is going to launch that into the box, finds Victoriano, who heads across for Ibanez, who misses. He was offside anyway. Let's berate them at this point, but this just isn't good enough. And we'll send Arif on for Prospect, send them two up front together. Cersei can drop it into this midfield slot here as a halfback. And Montanari can go a bit further up. That's no point, actually. He's not very good at that. And Rodrigo now tries to find Wilson. It's a poor ball forward and doesn't get anywhere. We've got 15 minutes now to try and find a goal, which we quite desperately need. We can't be dropping points again to a team that are in the relegation zone. We did it with, I forget who exactly now. But we've done it very recently, and we're on the verge of doing it again. Varinha making sure he catches that corner. And now looking for the ball forward, finds Arif, who's going to run straight through their defence. And Arif, that very tame effort in the end, that's easily savable by the keeper. Rodrigo whipping the ball in. Victoriano's at the near post, but again, it's over the bar. And we are really struggling to find the breakthrough here. We drop points to Spezia, Cagliari. I think we actually beat them 3-1, but the point is we drop a lot of points that we shouldn't be dropping. Rodrigo finds Victoriano, who... Why didn't he hit it? He tried the little through ball to Wilson when he should have just hit it as hard as he could. Cersei does well to head the ball down to Rodrigo. Mena now shoots. He's the one that shouldn't have shot. He had better options. Victoriano... that is... We're throwing the water bottle. We're disappointed with everyone. That is absolutely horrendous that we've dropped points there. And unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about it now, because the points are gone. And a win for Inter Milan later in the day puts them on 57 points, 2 points behind us, and we've still got them to play. So another disappointing result for us there. And this is what's cost us in what was at one point looking like a title race. If you look since... look at all the green here. We lost to Vicenza, which was disappointing, but a big run. And then here we've just been... There's so many draws in the middle of it, and that's what's ruined us. What we will do is we will come back now for the Coppa Italia final against AC Milan, and then the final 2 games of the season, or maybe just the final game. It depends on what the circumstances with the league. We'll come back for the cup final as a solo episode, and then the end of the season. We end the episode in 3rd place, 5 points above 5th, but of course they have got the game in hand. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like, comment down below how you think we're going to get on in the cup final tomorrow, and do subscribe if you are enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.